time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. It is a Monday morning edition of the podcast. I'm recording on Saturday after another Rio Hondo Prep victory from Thursday night. And first and foremost, I do want to wish everyone out there a happy Labor Day. Not sure if you're going to be able to watch or listen to this on Labor Day, because I'm sure everyone's very busy with activities and such out there. But happy Labor Day nonetheless, an extended long weekend. For me, the end of summer, really, even though it's not officially until, I don't know, mid or late September. For me, Memorial Day kicks off summer, Labor Day ends summer. And one beautiful thing about Labor Day is football season. A lot of great college football from over the weekend. High school football has been in full swing for a couple of weeks here. Just very grateful to see full stadiums, a lot of enthusiasm around the country with college football. Not going to get a chance to talk about USC or UCLA today because I'm recording Saturday morning with Mark Carson. We just felt it was probably best to get this out of the way so we could all enjoy the weekend. So if you haven't noticed, I'm sure you noticed on YouTube, the nice Get Home Safe logo is behind me. I'm trying a virtual background today, trying something new, mixing it up. You know, this is what we do here at the podcast. So it's not quite cropped or filtered or whatever. Like you can't even see the Get Home part of the logo. It's cut off. So if anybody has any advice on how to crop my photo here for my background, by all means, let me know. Send it my way, because as you guys know, who've been loyal listeners, I am always a work in progress, usually a day late and a dollar short, at least on the technology side of things. So the fact that this podcast gets out weekly like it does, it really is a miracle. I must say it's truly a miracle. So I'm going to record with Mark Carson here soon. I wish we could break down the UCLA USC games, but we're recording early. Just a very busy weekend for people out there who just, we want to enjoy the weekend as well. So, but it's so awesome to see college football back, see all the tailgating, the full stadiums. I tweeted out pretty awesome seeing something in Virginia Tech where, one of the best scenes in college football is when Virginia Tech comes out to take the field. I mean, Enter Sandman is blasting, and the stands are packed and everyone's jumping up and down. It's just awesome to see. Stuff like that is just unique to college football, I think. I watched a great Boise State Central Florida game on Thursday night. I thought the Broncos had it, but blew a big lead, unlike the Boise State Broncos there. And Gus Malzahn got a big win for Central Florida. But anyway, college football, full slate of games Saturday, some great matchups. Not sure how it's going to turn out, but I'm looking forward to watching that Georgia and Clemson game this evening if I get a chance. But anyway, it's the Monday morning edition of the podcast. And during the football season, we are going to be chatting and breaking down Rio Hondo Prep football, their previous game, and also looking forward to their upcoming game. And I know on Mondays last year, I did a lot of college football and NFL talk. I still want to do that. So what I might end up doing, if there's time in these episodes, I will do that. But what I may end up doing instead of an episode is similar like I did with Bill Barnes, is a Facebook live video, that's, I don't know, 15 minutes. My thoughts of what happened in the NFL on Sunday. 15 minutes. Here's my thoughts of what happened, what we saw for college football on Saturday, or maybe just one big video. I don't know. But I do want to kind of make this the Rio Hondo Prep football podcast here during the season anyway, on Mondays. So that's the plan. Mark Carson has agreed to record with me weekly to break down the games and such. So I want to keep that going. Let's promote this program and continue to publicize it out there and get people to follow it who maybe don't have an opportunity to do so, and just talk Rio Hondo prep football. So that's the plan. That is the plan. And I have many different ideas and I try a lot of different things, but sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Anyway, it is what it is. Looking forward to another conversation with Mark Carson. Rio Hondo Prep coming off a big win on Thursday night, beating Verdugo Hills High School. They were scheduled to play Linfield Christian. We chatted with head coach Deshaun Burns last week on the show, promoting that game, as well as Landon Goodwell, who played for Coach Burns at UTEP. But on Wednesday, 2 days before the game, Rio Hondo was notified that Linfield had to postpone the game. So it's been postponed to September 25th, which is a Saturday. It was supposed to be Rio's bye week during science camp. We'll talk to Mark Carson about that, and kind of the fast scramble there to find a game quickly within a few hours on Thursday against Verdugo Hills High School. Rio Hondo Prep goes over there in the San Fernando Valley to Verdugo Hills, and beats the Dons 44-12. We'll get into all of that right now with head football coach Mark Carson. Lots to talk about, and just want to say thank you for joining us here on a Monday edition of the podcast as we chat Rio Hondo Prep football with head coach Mark Carson. Okay, joining us once again is head football coach Mark Carson from Rio Hondo Prep. He has got some wild hair going this morning. Mark, you look like you just woke up from a summer trip in a sleeping bag.
Saturday morning hair.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, you got the wild hair. You got kids running around in the background. You're not Coach Carson right now. You're dad, but we'll talk some football still.
Exactly. Yeah. And even though I didn't have a game last night, I went to a game last night. So, yeah.
Oh, a little scouting trip, or what was the plan?
Maybe, but not really. It was Rob Bazuzzi, our good friend and RHP alum. His son plays for Elisa Miguel down in South Orange County, and with the free Friday night, I thought it'd be might be my one and only opportunity to go see them, and so it was great. It was really cool. CJ's a baller, one of their 2 or 3 guys that plays both ways, never comes off the field, and really cool atmosphere down in Orange County. You know, they got stands were packed, nobody's in a mask, everyone's having a great time. It was cool.
Yeah, Orange County football's pretty special. Even the mediocre teams do a good job of running the show down there. That's awesome to hear. Rod Bazuzzi and his son CJ. That's awesome. Rod was on the podcast a few weeks ago, and happy to hear it, man. So Claudia, you had a Friday night off, and Claudia wasn't up to go to dinner or nothing. You're like, I'm gonna go watch a high school football game.
Well, she was cool with it, yeah, and she and the kids have some friends over, and enjoyed the Friday night at home. And it was kind of a scouting trip in that Aliso could be a playoff team that we, in the craziness of CIF this year, they have 4,000 enrollment, but you never know, we could play them. And so
you never know. Indeed.
If we do, I'll have it in my back pocket. I see them in person.
I love it, Mark. Always working. Rod Bazuzzi would have a tough allegiance there. Well, yeah, I'm sure Claudia just knows, hey, for 3 months or so, Friday nights are kind of booked. Well, Mark, last week was a lot of fun chatting with you about the Poly game and looking forward to the Linfield Christian game. Unfortunately, last week was pretty crazy for you for a few hours anyway. Wednesday morning, you guys were notified that Linfield Christian had to postpone Friday's game. So take me through that entire timeline, if you will. From the call you guys got up until you guys kicked off with Verdugo Hills Thursday night.
Yeah, so Wednesday morning, I would say around 10-ish, I get a call from their athletic director informing us that they have to cancel the game. And they said COVID related. And so it's really all they said. But the good news was they wanted to reschedule, and they had an opening. Actually, when we have R1 opening, science camp week, which I think I told you last week, we usually don't like playing on that week, but we wanted to keep the game. So we're going to play them on the 25th down in Temecula, which is a Saturday after we get back from science camp. So our kids will be coming in from Wrightwood and Arizona on buses Friday afternoon and evening, and then hopefully get a good night's sleep and go play football the next day.
Okay. So that was the main reason was Saturday was that because of camp, you couldn't play really Friday. That wasn't realistic.
Right.
Okay. So no practice really you're going to have, and then play Linfield. Oh, we have a guest there, guest appearance, Mark.
This is Hope.
Daughter
number 3.
Hope Carson, daughter number 3 of 4 for head coach Mark Carson there, assisting us this morning.
So yeah, the timeline. So after that, then we go on a kind of get all the coaches on a group text and say, what do we want to do? And everyone was in agreement we want to play. And so we all kind of started looking around on Max Preps, who wasn't playing, on CIF Games Wanted website, who was looking for games, and scoured the San Gabriel Valley and beyond to try to find someone, and emailed everyone from, Arcadia to other Southern Section schools, and Fred Robledo, I think, retweeted our notice that we were looking for a game, and somehow Verdugo Hills saw that and through Twitter direct messaged me that they had someone cancel and they had a home game scheduled, and could we come to them on Thursday night? And it being Wednesday, I was like, how about Friday? And I guess their school wasn't in, or LA City schools aren't in on Fridays, and so their AD was like, I couldn't get our game ops personnel there on a Friday, and I don't think we can get a bus on a Friday to go to you guys. And so it was like, if we want to do this, it's got to be on Thursday. So we said, all right, we'll take it, and we booked it about a half hour later, and that's what it was. And so we're happy to get it, and they were really good hosts. Kind of a cool field, kind of a retro field, looked like it was built probably in the 50s. But cool setup, and out there in Tahunga, and we appreciate them doing that for us. Taking us on.
Definitely. I mean, it's kind of funny that it's like, okay, how bad do you want to play? Because you got to play in about 24 hours or whatever it was, maybe 30 hours. So it's crazy how quickly that can be done with technology and Max Preps and Twitter. As far as, hey, who wants? I feel it's almost like you're a kid back on the in the neighborhood streets, going door to door. Hey, who wants to play today? Let's play some football.
Yeah, who wants to? Yeah. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, you'd have to just get on the phone and blindly call people. There wouldn't have been. So, some great things about technology. That's one of them. Not all technology is good, but that's one of them. Zoom. What do we do without Zoom now?
Yeah, I know. What did we do without it years ago? Well, a little bit of history, I should say. I mean, to my knowledge, to your knowledge, it was the first time Rio has played a city section school, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, first time.
Man, very, very cool. So it's a Hunga, 210 freeway, not too bad commute for you guys. Probably better than going to Temecula on a Friday night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, city section, I mean, I don't know a lot about city section football, but as far as proximity, makes a lot of sense. It's just rather than traveling around, especially with, gasoline prices going up as they are, it's like, let's play someone close and just get home by 10 o'clock on a Friday. It's kind of cool.
Well, I know that Coach Burns of Linfield is probably really upset about not being able to play the game this Friday. It is good to hear that you guys are playing it in a couple weeks. We'll try to get him back on to talk about that. But let's talk about Thursday's game. So, and also kind of, Mark, if you will, since you don't have many road trips, kind of take us on the bus with you, if you will. 7 o'clock game, not too far of a drive, but you probably give yourselves at least an hour to get there. When did you guys leave? Is there a team meal right after school, or kind of take us through game day, if you would?
Yeah. So Thursday, it was a little different again, because it was a Thursday, not a normal Friday, but the kids get out of school around 1:40 on Thursdays. By 2 o'clock, we go down to the library in school and do a power nap. And so it's the darkest room on campus. And really no windows down there in the basement of Hampton Hall, and take about a 45-minute nap if they want to. Most of them take part in that, and then we wake them up, and we had a meal at 3. Ryan McCullough's dad provided the meal, and he works at a restaurant, or manages a restaurant in Glendale, and so it was a filet mignon, and every guy had a little filet and mashed potatoes and the whole spread, asparagus, carrots. It was nice.
Man, we got naps, we got filet mignon. I'm all in already. This is great.
Yeah. And then we so we eat, and then we got about an hour till we leave. So we tape, get dressed, and they advised us to go there dressed because they weren't sure, the AD, about the locker room availability, etc. So eat and dress. We left around 4:30, got there around 5:30. Actually did have a locker room, which was nice, and it was near the field. So we're able to, kind of take our time getting dressed and go to our warm up and play. That's it.
Mark, I've noticed about your kind of warm ups. Rio does a lot of things different than I think other schools do. A lot of schools go out there fully dressed, do most of their pregame exercises and drills and things. And then everyone kind of goes back in with about 30 minutes left and comes back out with 5 minutes left or something along those lines. And Rio, you guys, you're out there and kind of without shoulder pads and such, really just kind of being loose, stretching, kicking game for probably an hour before the game or so. And then you guys don't come out till 15 minutes before. It seems like you do a few hitting drills and you're good to go. So take me through the pregame routine. What's kind of the reasoning for it?
Oh, we just, the basic premise is get loose, but don't overwork ourselves. And so, some teams will put their guys through, an hour of drills and hitting and all this. And we're just like, we want to save it for the game. And so, we go out, warm up, and kind of build the momentum. It's kind of just building. And so, take it easy as far as, we don't do a bunch of position drills or anything like that. Again, keeping in mind that maybe someday when we have 60 guys on the squad and no one's playing both ways, but as it is now, we want to keep our guys fresh. And so kind of build it slowly and then go back in, put our pads on after a good warm up, and then just come out, make sure our pads are ready to go, hit each other, and then go.
Yeah. It was well before you took over, but you were very influential in the program. I remember, for most of us RHP alums, Fridays, well, in this case, a Thursday, but game days, man, 2:00, 3:00, that was team dinner. And that was, you go to a restaurant, you go to Chili's or National Sports Grill or Domenico's or whatever. And those were fun. You got to go and have a team meal. And then, but a few years ago, you kind of was like, hey, let the parents want to be involved. Let's involve them. Not only do you guys have a dinner typically the night before the game at someone's house, but you also have a meal provided after school. So talk, if you would, about just kind of involving the parents like that.
Yeah, parents really like doing it, and they always do an awesome job, better than any restaurant meal we're going to get. Usually high carb meal on Thursday night before a Friday game, and then a lighter sometimes, but some protein on the game day. And the parents, it gets them involved and they like it. And, it's almost like turns into, they're trying to one up each other, I think, on the meals. And so it kind of turns into a little competition, but no, they all do an awesome job. And then, so it gets the guys, again, it's nutrition, sleep, hydration, that all goes into having a good Friday night. And so we try to get them started on it on Thursday with the good meal. And then just the Thursday night usually includes a meeting of some sort where kind of the guys are allowed to express themselves and their thoughts on the game and feelings and all that. And so it's a positive thing.
Now I know most coaches, if they're honest, and they are about this, is they steal stuff from people, they steal stuff from programs. So how did you kind of find this vision to have this and involve parents more and have a pregame meeting on the night before the game and such?
Yeah. I'm not ashamed to say it. We stole it from De La Salle High School when that book came out and all that stuff on them back in the 90s, doing what they did. And then, I guess the book probably came out in the early 2000s, but kind of telling the story of their program and Thursday night team dinners was a big thing. And so that's when we started it. I think in the early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s, like 2005, 2004, we started doing it. And once we got rolling, it became a tradition and everyone just thought, oh, this is how it's always been. And the kids expected it. And so, it's one of those things that takes obviously extra work, mainly for the parents and stuff, but the kids like it and we think it benefits all of them.
It's one of the many different reasons why football is different. It separates itself, is that you're able to do these things and the parents and families buy in. We can't say that enough, that it takes all of them being willing to to do this for the kids and everything. So that's just awesome to hear too. You know, people want to be a part of something. You want to let them be a part of it in some way or some form, you know? So, very, very cool. Okay. So to the game we go. Didn't know what to expect. Now going into this, typically, Mark, you have some film, you're able to watch for a few days and prepare your guys. This was, we're just going to go out and do what we do and hopefully out execute them. So was that kind of the mindset going in without much preparation?
Yeah. So we've had practice Wednesday night at 6:15. I think we got their film at about 5:45. And so, typically by Wednesday night, we have the full game plan ready, and it's kind of our game speed night. And, the San Gabriel Valley officials always come out that night. And so it feels like a mini game. They come out to train their guys, which is cool. And we appreciate them doing that. And so it feels like a little game on Wednesday nights. And by then we have a full diagram of what the opposing team does on offense and defense. And our scout is running their defense, our scout is running their plays. But we didn't have that. And so I watched about 15 minutes of film before going out for practice. All right, guys, they're spread. And let's get ready for that. And so Mr. Johnson, Randy, ROC, said, hey, just run some of our spread stuff, which we don't do a lot. And so he had fun, running some spread stuff that we do against us. And that was pretty much it. And then you see how they line up on defense, and we tried to mimic that. But that was it. There was no detailed typed up game plan like we usually have with diagrams and stuff like that.
Well, it's crazy that, in watching the film, the game Thursday night, it looked as if you guys had been preparing for them for about a month. Quite honestly, not 15 minutes, because the holes were gaping that you guys were running through. I mean, it looked like it was tough for them to gain many yards. The passes they threw defenders were there. I mean, we got a game plan here from Hope handing us a sheet of paper there, Mark. Next opponent. So I mean, it's crazy to think that you guys didn't have much time to scout them or whatever. And that brings me to another question, Mark. How much of when you scout teams, you kind of mentioned it, but like how much of it is, okay, what they do is going to dictate what we do as far as our defensive or offensive schemes? Or is it, I mean, you don't come up with new stuff necessarily, but you see what they do and you try to counter it. Kind of what's the balance there?
Yeah, it's for us, first, offensively, it'll be how they're going to try to defend us. And so we got to work, a lot of our scheme is on angles and who to block where and where to block them and what holes to hit, what gaps to attack. And so we see how they're going to defend us and who we got to block, who's making all the tackles. So that's usually what we're looking for on the offensive side of the ball. And then defensively, I'm always looking at tendencies, which obviously I couldn't get any of that tonight. Tendencies, best players, what they like to do, right? And I'm always trying to eliminate what they like to do, make them uncomfortable, and then go to plan B. And then let's see if their plan B is better than our scheme to stop it. And so that's kind of our overall look. But that being said, the game Thursday kind of reminded me of our JV coaching days.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have any scout on them. You just show up and play and you're adjusting on the fly. And so I think coaching JVs for all those years probably helps me in that aspect. You got to kind of just figure it out as you go. Oh, what are they running? You look over in the pregame warm up when they're running. Okay, they're running double wing today, guys. Here we go. And so that's how it is. And I've done that. I did that for years, coaching JV football. And so you're kind of prepared that way.
I love it. Yeah, that's a great point. I never thought of that. All your experience, working youth football and high school football. No doubt. So,
and they were in the same boat. So it was fair.
Yeah. It was absolutely a level playing ground surface, except for the actual playing surface. It looked like out there. It looked a little rough on film. But
no care park, that's for sure.
So no, indeed. So, I mean, without getting into, giving away any secrets, sometimes, different weeks, okay, we're going to end up blitzing more, or, hey, sometimes we feel more confident in our front three here and we're going to drop more in coverage because this team throws. It all depends week to week, kind of what you guys do.
Yeah. We will never just say, oh, we're running this no matter what, we're going to adjust to the offense. And so I know some, I've been to plenty of coaching clinics and say, this is our deal. This is what we do every Friday, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that's one way to do it. But we like to adjust to the opponent. And with our personnel and our scheme, we think we can adjust quickly. And, if we got to put 8 in the box, we'll put 8 in the box.
Yeah.
We're going to drop 8, we'll drop 8, and just, and that's kind of the flexibility our system provides. And I think our players are smart football players and they're great at adapting.
Yeah, that's a good word right there, is being able to adapt week to week. Mark, as far as the actual game goes, I mean, it was kind of over once it started. You guys jumped out 28-0 lead in the first quarter. Gio Ortega had a huge night, 3 quick touchdowns before you blink, 2 on offense and 1 on defense. So first time the defense got on the scoreboard this year.
Love seeing that.
Right. Free possessions, free points, really. So I mean, and we'll look at a few plays here, but what were your overall thoughts from the game itself, the fast start, and how you guys finished?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was cool. They came out and surprised us with an onside kick, and 55 for us. Ray Montez did a great job covering that up. I appreciated their aggressiveness there. I'm like, hey, we're going to go after these guys. And you looked at their size and kind of what they marched on the field, like, okay, this might, maybe this will be a game. But we were just too quick off the ball, I think, for them, and too quick to the ball on defense. That I don't think they were used to that speed of play. And so, despite their size advantage, I think we were just too fast for them.
You guys really were. It looked like slow motion, really. And I will say that a team that executes, you can look even faster and quicker just because you are a step quicker, really. But being able to execute is a huge advantage. And it's not like you guys were just running around them with all your speed. I mean, there was really precise blocking there. And Gio, Rio Hondo's this running attack, and your first 2 touchdowns, Mark, were passes, and you got 1 from each quarterback, to my knowledge, right? Damien,
right.
And
Armando had 1.
Armando had 1. Yeah. Yep. So take me through the 2 plays look very similar, and maybe we'll look at them here. Let me try to set that up, but talk about your 2 quarterbacks there and those 2 plays.
Yeah, great. One's a senior, one's a sophomore. Damian Diaz is a senior, and so that was a far right slot, 53 quick 298 is what we call it. And the cool thing about that play, when you bring it up, is the play action. And so obviously we had got to that point on the field down into the red zone with our running game. And so all 3 of their linebackers on that side of the field, on the wide side over there, bid on the play action. And that gave Gio, the step he needed to get by him. And then it was a good throw. And then Gio finished it, with a nice run. So the play action is what's really the cool thing about that. And something that we've been working with Jonathan on his fakes. It's like we're so good running the ball. If you make good fakes, it's going to help us in the passing game. So that'll be a fun thing to watch. And Gio, with the motion going already, he has momentum kind of carrying him out there to play action. And so it just kind of gives him the jump on him.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really good play. And I like that each quarterback, again, was able to kind of execute there. And I love the, let me see here. Okay.
And that's our game. Play action is the name of our game in the pat when it comes to throwing.
And it's cliche, the pass should set up, or the run should set up the pass, but some people say that and don't really execute. Your pass plays really, truly do look like run plays.
Right. And even how we block, we try not to give it away,
No.
Obviously a obvious passing situation, into the game, we're down and, we're in spread or whatever, no huddle, then obviously our linemen might give that away. But other than that, we try to make every play look like a run play.
Yeah. And let me run this here. This is play 8, right?
Play 8. Yeah.
Okay. So let's run this and let it play out, and then I'll pause it and you can comment on it. So here we go. It's a far right slot, 53
quick 298.
298. And what is the 298 significance?
That tells that's the pattern. That's the patterns for everybody.
Okay. There's a lot different. Yeah. There's a lot different from our days, Mark, where it's like, okay, flanker fade on 1, ready, break.
Yeah. The patterns are all numbered. So 1 through 9. And so, Gio's the 2. And then, then the receivers count over and they figure out what number they are. for the rest of the pattern. So yeah, rather than naming a route, it's all a number system, like a number passing tree.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but rather than say, for us alums, fake 33, like fake to the tailback, a fake to the tailback is a 50 number, right? 53.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And a fake to say the fullback would be what, 40 something or 60 something?
Yeah, 40.
Okay. So yeah, rather than say 20, fake 33, you say 53. So I don't know if people know that, but anyway, let's look at the play here. Okay. We got, last week it was kind of hard to hear, but so kind of a bunch. And
You not want me to talk during the play?
motion and then right out of the backfield. And he breaks the tackle there. So yeah, Mark, go ahead and tell you. It was a little hard to hear. Good play fake.
Yeah, we see the play action. Yeah, draws the outside linebacker, the inside linebacker, and even the Mike backer. And then that just Gio gets guy to get by that outside backer really quick. And then Damian makes a nice throw to him. But the play fake is what really sells it.
Yeah, I'm running it in slow motion now. No, absolutely. And I mean, you guys do a lot of motion, Mark, and I think that has to do, does that kind of add to the concept of like misdirection where the backs crossing and everything?
Yeah, misdirection and gets the linebacker's eyes moving. And it allows us to get to a numbers advantage. And then we see, okay, if they're going to adjust to it and overplay where we motion to, then we'll go backside. If they don't, then we're going to go where we're motioning to and have a numbers advantage. So it's all part of Randy's scheme, which is just incredible. And it gets better and better every year. So
no doubt. And
really fun to watch.
And for those not watching on YouTube, we got two receivers to the left, a tight end on the right, and that's where the formation. Anytime you say right or left in the formation, that's you're referring to where the tight end goes. So nobody on the right side. It's kind of empty.
Nobody split out wide. Nope.
No, and so that kind of adds to the concept of the motion man after play action having a lot of open space on the right side for the wheel route.
Exactly. Yeah, and they think. They're thinking right now, like, oh, we got nothing to worry about outside. They see run action, towards the middle. They all come up, and then Gio's by them, and it's too late. So you see all those linebackers come in. The corner's probably back there somewhere, but he was too deep. But yeah, and the throw really helped. A bad throw here, if it's behind him or not quite as much zip on it, then Gio might get a loss or a 1 yard gain. But it's a great throw.
Well, and if this linebacker, his eyes got caught in here. And is it kind of like as soon as the back crosses his face, that's kind of the time to release the ball?
Yeah, throw the ball. Yeah.
You cannot underthrow this, or he can't.
Right.
You
underthrow it, it could be 6 going the other way.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah.
And then Gio does a great job here. I mean, what I like, Mark, it's the little things. Right as contact, even though the goal line's close by, right as contact's coming, 2 hands on the football.
Yeah, he knows. And yeah, we talk about that a lot. And yeah, he didn't reach out. You'll even notice that here. He's protecting the ball. We call that 6 points, 6 points of contact. And I think the ref might give him a beneficial spot there with the touchdown, but I don't know. Replays, I don't know if it would have shown he scored or not, but he knows. And he even actually said this when we were watching film yesterday. He goes, yeah, I didn't reach out because, we're going to have it 1st and goal on the 1, even if it's not a touchdown. That just tells the unselfish nature of our team and our players. He wasn't worried about getting a touchdown. One of his stats, it was, he's wanted the team to score, and yeah, we don't reach the ball out only if it's a desperate situation.
Yeah, when you do that, you put in one hand on the ball, that's trouble. And if you do fumble it out of the end zone, the defense gets the football. So
it's almost the ultimate football penalty. Yeah. Is fumbling the ball outside the end zone. Great for the defenses, though.
I like that. There's people cry about it, but I'm like, there's one rule in football that's for the defense. I'm all for it.
Yeah, exactly. We get one.
Yeah. So, but no, a great play here, and we'll go back to the execution. But Mark, there's 3 guys here, and they meet him at about the 7 yard line. He's contacted right around the 7, maybe the 6. One guy kind of weight room right here, man. And they got him around the waist, and you watch, it's all legs here. He's dragging bodies. And again, I love the 2 hands on the football. Just a great play.
Yeah.
Let's go back to it again. Can you hear okay when I'm kind of running it in slow motion?
Yeah.
Okay. And you could see it all right too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It looks great.
Might be better than when we were running it in full speed, just technology, right? So again, no one on the right side, and I didn't look at their look here. They got They're. I mean, this is like the third play of the game for you guys?
Yeah, it was early. Yeah, maybe play 8. So this was after the kickoff. It's probably the 5th play, something like that. Yeah.
So you really haven't even. I mean, you had a couple of good running plays.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you really haven't established like this presence offensively that we're going to run down your throat all night. So to execute this early was also very impressive.
Yeah. They probably saw JG on the film that we sent, though, that, he's their guy. And so, but yeah, it was a good fake. And so that's something that's an area of improvement for our running backs. And it was good to see that. And you show this to them on film and you're like, hey guys, this is why fakes matter. It gives us one step.
You're right. Well, one step on the guy. And if you look again at the backer or maybe he's the corner, because there's no split on that side. If you watch him, there's the fake there. He gets 2 or 3 steps in and Gio's already starting to run by him.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, the fakes do matter. Looks like the pass is caught right about the line of scrimmage. So that's okay. But you got a few guys drifting. If I gotta nitpick you, Mark, be careful of that. You don't want that cheap call happening.
No, I know. And sometimes I get a little carried away, making it look like a run play.
Yeah.
Like guys, you get 3 yards. That's it. Not 5.
Yeah. And don't make it 3. Don't make it, if you do, recoil. 2 is good. Yeah, absolutely. But again, a great execution there by you guys. Great throw by your quarterback. Again, when you don't get many game throws, which I know your guys don't, to put one on the money like that is impressive.
Right. Yeah. And that's credit to Damian, who's really improved his accuracy. And these guys, they'll work. We call it PRP, player run practice. They'll work after practice, after hours, after we're done, and just go out and throw, working on their timing. And so credit to them for putting in that extra work.
I like that. PRP, player run practice. I'm sure you got a bunch of those little analogies or acronyms somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to pull up now a defensive play. You're a defensive guy. I'm a defensive guy. We love big time defensive plays. In between the other play and this play, Gio scored on another very similar pass play from your other quarterback, Armando.
Right.
And so last week, Mark, against Pauly, Gio had a 90-yard kickoff return to start the second half that really put the nail in the coffin. This play here by Gio, even though it's only the first quarter, to go up 21-0. I mean, this had to just take the wind out of their sails altogether.
Yeah, I believe so. They were hyped. It was their athletic director told us after the game this was the biggest crowd they've had in years because it was the first on-campus game since COVID. And so they had a huge crowd out, and they were hyped. They had their band, which was really cool. And they did a good job. And I think this kind of, you get down 21-0 halfway through the first quarter. I think it's hard to come back from that mentally. And so this was kind of the proverbial nail in the coffin. It was like, oh, okay, we're not going to win tonight.
And we got a long way to go. And you've always been a guy, Mark, since when you were coaching special teams, you wanted special teams to score. Defensive guy the same way. I mean, you preach and preach and preach. Get the ball and then score with it. I love that fire. Right? I don't know if you guys do that on a turnover. It's like, turn around and block. Let's go score. So let's see here. Let me run this if we can. So we got a 3rd and long situation, which I know you love because you can either blitz, you can drop. You got a lot of options here. You got your 3 down lineman. It looks like you drop into coverage a bit.
Yeah. So we call 3rd and longs disaster downs. It's the disaster downs for the offense. This is when a big play can happen. And so, this is the call we make here is called a crowd 53. And all that is we're going to crowd the line of scrimmage to make them think we're coming. And then we drop 8 into coverage. And so 5 underneath and 3 deep, our 3 deep show corner safety. And then our 3 inside backers and our 2 hybrid players drop underneath. And so you see Gio doing a great job here. He's deking a blitz. He's up crowding the line of scrimmage. Their quarterback pre-snap sees that. And I think their big receiver here, this 6'3" kid, thinks he's going to be open. I think the quarterback, you see him peek. He thinks he's going to be open because Gio's blitzing right in that seam. And then Gio drops back and the quarterback doesn't see him and picks it off.
Well,
so Gio on the ball. Yeah.
And then I think there's another defensive back here. He doesn't even look at the number 1 receiver out here. He passes him knowing he's got a lot of help here. 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Yeah, so he's going to the flat. Yeah.
He's already counted on the fact that there's 2 receivers over here. There's really no one else to look at. So he gets right to the flat there.
Yeah. He would have blown that up. They threw it there too. See, this guy's doing what we call an 8 route, kind of a seam, skinny post, whatever you want to call it. And their QB, if you look pre-snap, if you just roll it, you'll see that he looked and thought that was going to be open, and then Gio drops back into coverage. And so it's kind of cool to see, something you design and draw up work perfectly.
Yeah. Let's see it here. Okay. So full speed, we'll run it. Okay. So Gio, he comes up. I'm going to blitz. Oh, never mind. By that time, a quick pick 6 for Rio Hondo. So yeah, I mean, like you said, he's coming up to blitz, and at the snap, the quarterback looked, okay, the slant's going to be there, or the skinny post, but Gio drops back. And what do you call Gio's position? Is it a strong safety? What would it be?
Yeah, strong safety. Our position name for it is bandit. This is what we call it in our verbiage. That's what he's called. And another thing you'll see after the interception, as you mentioned, we have an alert. Anytime we get the ball on defense, we all yell fire. And that tells everyone, okay, we got the ball now, go block. And I'm not sure if we get the quarterback, but the number one guy we always make sure to get is the QB, because he's going to be the most ticked off. So we're like, make sure we block the quarterback because we want to score. Looks like, no, we don't quite get to him maybe, but I think McCullough tries to get over there.
He runs into a guy. Well, no stupid blocks there.
Yeah, and we always tell our LBs or DBs who intercept, they go to the near sideline, don't cross field. And so we all know, everyone knows, go to the near sideline on an interception. And whether you're a returner or another defender, and that's where the blocking is going to be. And so, we practice that. It's not just happenstance. So you kind of see everybody probably heard it, and then everyone's yelling, right? And they get to the near sideline and get a convoy going to the end zone.
Good block here. McCullough is leading the way, and the quarterback looks like he runs into his teammate here.
Yeah.
And nobody's there. And right to the pylon, right to the sideline. Easy stuff. Gio we did it again. So no, a really good play. I figured this would be picked up here. Just great execution, Mark, by everybody on this. It was a good call by you. And at what point did you know, when you saw Gio breaking forward, that's when you kind of knew, we got this pick 6, or sometimes can you see it all happening before it develops?
No, I mean, we're on the far sideline, and this was opposite us. And so it's not, you can't always see it. But I could tell just by how, they came out 4 wide, just how we kind of thought they would. And I thought we might be able to bait them into something. You're not always thinking interception, but you're thinking a quick throw and a big hit or something like that underneath. And but it worked perfectly. So it was fun to see.
Oh, no doubt. And you guys had a lot of great plays. And again, if I have to pick you apart, Mark, there's very minimal things here. I thought you guys left a few turnovers out there. I mean, I think it was the first play of the game. You guys were in perfect coverage. I can't remember who it was, maybe number 3. I mean, that was a free interception that was just dropped. I mean, it's all it is coming down to catching the football. But yeah, I mean, you can't let those things slip through your fingers.
Yeah. Close game. We're going to need every one of those. And so, that was our young sophomore corner, Curly Kirkpatrick, who's a great player and is only getting better. Probably second only to Gio as the fastest guy on the team. And the guys, the guys let him hear it when we were watching film, and he had a good laugh about it, because, he wished more than anybody that he would have caught that ball and got that pick. And I think they had a fumble that was on the ground that we didn't get, so don't like to see that. But the pick 6 made up for it, I guess. We score on a.
Yeah, it's only week 2, and it's good to hear that getting razzed by teammates sometimes is good. Defensively, Mark, I mean, pretty balanced. Joshua Tafflinger led you guys in tackles with 5.5. Nathan Curtis 4.5. I mean, overall, the defense, were you pleased with just tackling, right?
I mean, second half, those guys both played a lot in the second half, 2 of our younger guys. And so it was cool for those guys to get on the field and make some plays. Yeah, when I told Josh, 210 Prep Sports put a little article out about the game, and they listed leading tacklers. And Josh, you see you were in the paper? He's like, what? And, he was all excited about that as the leading tackler. So that's cool for him. And great experience, great game experience for those young guys.
Well, that brings up a question from me, Mark, is, you don't want to always have this, but you play in some blowouts, and how do you balance with such a small roster? I mean, you can't put 11 fresh bodies in there necessarily. So how do you balance, not giving the bulk of your carries to guys like Guerrero and McCullough and Gio, and giving some carries to some other guys, but you also got other positions to account for. So how do you balance, hey, let's get some other guys in there, so guys aren't getting hurt, but also the experience? How do you balance all that in a blowout?
Yeah, and you take your starters out too early, and they're your starters. They're your usually upperclassmen, seniors and stuff, and it's not fair to them not to play in the game. And so you can't just, get up by 2 touchdowns up. Now we're going second string the rest of the game, because those guys work hard, harder than anybody, and they're your guys. And so you want to give them reps and just for practical purposes, being ready for the next game. You can't just sit guys too early. And the other tough part about it at Rio is we don't have like a third string. And so, we barely have a second string a lot of times. And so there's not a lot of bodies to put in. And so you can't, for instance, on offense, if we put our second string O-line in, we wouldn't be able to get a playoff probably, even against these guys. And so you got to keep a few of your leaders and a few of your starters out there just to get plays off. And then defensively, which, you're not going to get anybody killed by taking everybody out. We see it as a positive. It's a little hit on the pride when you give up a couple late touchdowns in a game like that, but we see it as a positive of getting guys game experience. And if they score, so be it. We're not going to get, you would look silly to have a starter out there, 44-0 game, and he gets hurt when it's not, necessary. And so you got that aspect in it, but the main aspect is getting our young guys reps. And if they score, so be it. We're fine with it, as long as we come out of the game healthy. But yeah, it is a tough balancing act.
And maybe they messed up or maybe I was incorrect here. Or they messed up the article here. Was it? It says Calvin Johnson had a touchdown run, or was that Size?
No, that was Calvin. Yeah, he had a nice run. That was in the first half, I think. Was that our second touchdown?
I thought it was no. I'm saying the number. Was Calvin number 2? Do you remember?
Calvin's number 2.
Okay, so he's number 2. No, that was one heck of a run, Mark. I mean, he ran through it was a gaping hole, but I thought he finished that run really well as a guy who maybe doesn't run the ball that often, second string or whatever. He looked like a pro on that one. Yeah,
he's a great athlete, and another guy who's really taken his training seriously and worked out and just kind of made himself into a great football player. I mean, he was always a really good football player, but maturing how he has the last couple of years, over the pandemic year, and then now this year, he's a monster out there. Looks like his old man out there.
Yeah, good old Rick. It helps, when Uncle Randy's calling the plays too. I'm sure getting some love.
Yep.
That helps. But no, McCullough got in the end zone for the first time. He had a run up the right sideline where, he doesn't go out of bounds necessarily, but I think he saw a kid come up, a safety, and he dropped the shoulder on him pretty good.
Yeah, I think that was play 16. It was actually a pass play, a little pass play to him if you want to watch that. And then Ryan, he does not know how, or does not look to avoid contact. It's actually the opposite. He's looking for contact, and that poor kid. Hey, credit that kid for sticking his nose in there. But yeah, he kind of got the worst end of that one.
Definitely. Oh, here's the play here. Okay, let me pull it up.
So 16.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't 16. Let me see. Go to the next. Let me see. What play was that? Wonder.
That's all good. Complete. Okay, pass. This
might be it. 17. There you go.
Okay, so McCullough is the fullback here.
And you got that
Gio split out to the right.
That might be fun for the fans to see.
Yeah, McCullough here, wide open. And he speeds up what you said. Tribute to that little guy.
We respect that. Totally respect that.
Very nice. And it was interesting,
another wrinkle.
Throw him kind of a little wheel route.
Another wrinkle. Give something else for people to worry about. Now we got to worry about this guy motioning out of the backfield. Who's going to cover him? Yeah. So.
No, absolutely. Randy really does a good job of making plays look the same, but also wrinkles. And I don't know. And Mark, I have to ask, with all these numbers, 989, 53, 70, do the kids ever get confused? I know I would probably with all those numbers. Like, wait, right?
Yes, they do. The answer is yes. But that just comes down to practice and getting it right, repping it enough where they feel comfortable. But yeah, you should have seen us, whatever, a month ago. We're getting ready for the season. Yeah, you're bumping into each other. 3 guys running the same pattern. I thought I was the 9. I thought, no. And yeah, so yeah, but they figure it out. And Randy likes to challenge them and make them think. And we think that's awesome and make them figure it out. And so might be a little sloppy early on, but you know, by the time the season gets rolling, we hope to have it down.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah, I would have to speak much more clear than I did probably when I was playing. What did you say? 53 or 33? Which one is it?
Hey,
so no, very, very good.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention about our second string getting in, the third cool thing about it is those guys are a lot of the, you know, they're the scout team all week. And, you know, and so it's fun to reward them with some playing time in front of the fans and all that. So when we could do it anytime we can, even if it means, you know, giving up a couple touchdowns or whatever, we think it's worth it for that reason as well.
Oh, no doubt. And six for 6 on extra points. I always like to note that because
Trevor Scott's been awesome.
Yeah. And let's give some love to your snapper and your holder too. Who else is on the unit?
So that's Damian Diaz, our QB, is the snapper. You know, at Rio, you got to do multiple things, and then our holder's Calvin Johnson.
Wow. Well, a great job by those guys. As you know, Mark, when you started coaching high school, it was the JV team, and you were the special teams guy. You'd have me, Devin Drain, and Bill Ritter out there for an hour after practice. It seemed like snap, hold, kick, and it's just repetition and practicing. So I know you take pride in that.
Yeah, we aren't going to give away free points.
No, you can't.
Free point.
It is absolutely. So 44-12, a good win for you guys, especially on the extra short week and short notice. How are the Verdugo? You said their staff and everything was very welcoming to you guys and all that. Were they? Anything said after the game? And did you see kind of deer in the headlights from them or anything afterwards?
No, one thing their coach said after the game, which I thought was cool. He goes, hey, I never seen a team. I don't remember his exact words. He said, I never seen a team, you know, call off the dogs like you did in the second half, and we really appreciated that. And he said, I didn't know a lot about you guys, and I'm going to follow you. So they really appreciated that.
Oh man, that's so cool to hear. That is so cool to hear. Absolutely. Yeah, a big size advantage, I'll say, from Verdugo. Some big kids out there, but Mark, you guys just look so fast compared to them. And did your kids take notice of that? Did they say, okay, some more of our training and agility things, it has paid off?
Yeah, I think they all know it. And you watch film and it kind of really pops. And you know, we got to sell them on what makes us good,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so, especially as the season gets, the tougher games come along, you got to be able to go to that well and say, guys, this is what we do, and this is what we do well. So let's not forget that, and let's, you know, execute, play fast, hit, and hopefully that carries the day.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I know you guys were looking for a game last minute. I mean, I just be thankful you guys didn't happen to call that Bishop Sycamore team. Did you hear about that?
That is crazy. That is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And to me, it blows my mind that I could see an opposing school getting duped, but that ESPN got duped. And it's like, where's your researchers? Where's your, you know, fact checkers? It's like, I mean, that's kind of embarrassing for that network too.
Oh yeah. And for those that don't know, they played, was it IMG Academy, who's pretty well known? Yeah. And this Bishop Sycamore, who might not even be a real high school. And they said, yeah, we got all kinds of D1 talent, and ESPN's like, oh, okay, we'll put you guys on the game. And then didn't they even have some guys who weren't even in high schoolers?
They're like JUCO players.
It's like,
crazy.
I can't believe
this day and age with social media that they could have got away with it, and it could have gotten that far.
Oh yeah. They actually played the game.
Point. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Thank goodness that didn't happen. But yeah, so you guys got the game in. That's great. Let's talk about Boron, a pretty good rivalry, Mark. You guys have played every year to my knowledge for a long time. Tell me about the rivalry, maybe their coaching staff. They love to play you guys. Tell me about the relationship with Boron.
Yeah, so started, I think the first time we played them was 2008. I believe they were the number 1 seeded team in the playoffs. We went up there for a quarterfinal game. They were averaging like 65 points a game, just blowing everybody out. And we beat them on our way to a championship. And ever since then, I think the next year they called us and said, hey, we want to play you in the regular season. And like, okay. And it's definitely a fun road trip. We like going out there. It's home this year, but it's kind of a cool, if you've never been out to Boron, California, very remote. It's a mining town. They mine borax, I think, out there. And they take their football seriously. So it's like small town America in California. And so the whole town comes out. Everyone in the school plays on the team just about. And it's fun. And, they'll come in with a chip on the shoulder, they'll hit and be well coached. Rob Kostopoulos, who's been their longtime coach, he just stepped down. Now he's more in administration at the school, but he's still organizing and running things for the football program. But their new coach, I don't know his name off the top of my head. He's been their longtime assistant, so it's going to be the same old Boron. And they're looking pretty good. They came down here and beat South Pasadena handily a couple weeks ago. They won last night, and so we think it's going to be a fun game at Care Park on Friday.
Yeah, they lost their opener to Foothill of Bakersfield, 16-7. So pretty low scoring game there. They came to South Pasadena, as you mentioned, beat them 33-14. So that's an impressive score. And then put up some more points last night against Riverside Prep, 36-8. So it seems like a slow start, but they got the ball rolling and put together a few wins here.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun game. I'm looking forward to it. Our guys are looking forward to a 4-quarter game.
Yeah, exactly. And over the years, there really has been some really great Boron Rio games. And I'll tell you this, Mark, if you do have to make the trip up there, I know you guys aren't this year, way better doing it in September than November.
Yes.
That place can be cold.
Yeah. We prefer them playing them early in the season, and they're in the central section now, so we don't have to worry about going up there for playoffs. Yeah, we lost a playoff game up there. I think it was 13-6. And it might have been 20 degrees at kickoff and just got colder throughout the night. We beat them up there once when it was that cold as well, but high desert, you get the wind blowing and there is nowhere to hide. It is just freezing cold. And man, kind of crazy that it gets that cold in Southern California, but it does, believe it or not.
Well,
bust out our ball warmer.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, the weather's changing a little here. I love this, the turning of the leaves, if you will, as you always said. But it looks to me like they're averaging about 170 yards on the ground a game. They don't throw it much, so you guys kind of know them and they know you. So kind of a similar team. Their formations and such are a lot different than you guys, but they like to run the ball. They want to play good defense. So a pretty balanced looking game, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun game for our fans. And, those running games, both teams run the ball. Those games are usually done pretty quick. As you know, as an official, you love seeing that. Clock keeps rolling. Get done with the game, clean up, go get something to eat, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Did you guys play them in 2019? Well, I know you did, but do you remember it?
Yes, we played them. We went out there, I believe. Yeah, that's the last time we played them. We went out there. I think, I would have to look it up to be sure, but okay. I think we won pretty handily up there.
And you guys have won the majority of these games that you've played them the past 10 plus years. They've
won a few, and we've had a few close ones, but and we've kind of controlled it that way.
Well, I didn't prep you for this, and I didn't even think of this until now, but the game is this Friday, Mark, on September 10th, one day before the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And I was a junior when 9/11 happened. And I remember it was a Tuesday, and, Rio doesn't do a lot of like praying publicly before the games and such, but I remember that night we played that Friday night. A lot of American flags. We played Bethel Christian, and Jordan Ross scored 6 touchdowns, 6 different ways or something like that. But before the game, Mr. Horton, I think the principal of Bethel Christian, we all gathered in prayer for the nation. And it's just so hard to believe, man, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Wow, man. Yeah. So I don't know what we'll do. It's a good thought, but I think we should definitely do something, maybe a moment of silence or for the national anthem. Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, that was crazy. 20 years ago, man.
Yeah.
Wow, how the world's changed 20 years.
No kidding. We need a whole podcast for that. But I just remember a lot of schools canceled. We actually played the game that Friday.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a great sense of pride taking the field that night, knowing that the country was suffering and all we were doing was playing a high school football game. But after hurting all week, it was like we needed something to kind of bring us together, and it felt like normalcy. So
it was cool, man. And across the country, it's like football provided a chance of gathering for everybody, a chance for people to gather and kind of mourn together, but celebrate what's great about America together too. And there's nothing better in American society than American football, man. I don't know.
You got that right, man. There's an attack on football, and we'll, we don't need to get into all that, but young men need to play high school football. And in closing, Mark, this is a big college football weekend. I have some great memories with you, my friend. We'd ref the 2 care games on Saturday morning, and then we'd go to your mom's house and we'd eat Domino's pizza and watch some afternoon college football. You and I went to the Auburn USC game Memorial Day weekend.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was a blast. So some great college football memories with you, man. And how excited are you to see college football back?
Super excited that there's fans in the stands, man. You saw that like Virginia Tech, their Metallica entrance, and it's just like, oh yes, where has this been? Yeah. And it was so awesome. And the fans in the stands, because let's be honest, college football without the fans is not the same. And so you need the crowd, you need the fans. And so I'm just, it's encouraging that that's back to normal. And yeah, I can watch college football all day.
Oh, me too.
I would like to watch college football all day. It doesn't always work out that way, but I'll catch the SC game for sure.
Yeah.
I'm actually encouraged about UCLA. I think they're going to have a good team too. I think we'll see. We'll find out a lot about them tonight, but I can always say good things happen when you run the ball, and it seemed like they can run the ball. And so if they can control a little clock here against LSU, it might be a game.
Yeah. What did Woody Hayes say about the forward pass? There's 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Yeah. Exactly. Most people don't take that to heart anymore. We certainly do at Rio.
Oh man, run to win, and play action to compete. I think that's in the Bible somewhere too. But no, it's fantastic. I'm excited. Yeah, LSU against UCLA, huge game. Georgia, Clemson.
Yeah, 2 Power 5 schools, 2 Power 5 teams getting together. That's awesome.
Well, let's go. And I'll tell you this: SC's got their hands full with the defending Mountain West champs, San Jose State. They better don't sleep on the Spartans.
No, San Jose State's going to come in with something to prove. And I saw them a little bit last week. They look good.
Yeah.
SC will have every player on their team. None of them got recruited by San Jose State. And likewise, none of the players San Jose State recruited were recruited by SC. And so it's like SC has a personnel advantage. And so it's like, but yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll go 5 wide on 4th and 1 like they did last year.
And from the shotgun.
Let's make it a 4th and 6 now with the shotgun back there. But
I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm worried that it's going to be like the last 5 or 6 years after the first game. I'm like, all right, SC's still not back.
Yeah,
they're okay, but they're not back. And, I'm afraid that's how it's going to be. But I would love to be proven wrong.
Prove me wrong. Yeah, and finally, Mark, I don't know about you. I can only speak for me, and I think you're the same. But I love cheering for those Fresno States, those Boise States, those even San Diego's, those teams that like are kind of a second tier. Reminds me of Rio Hondo in a sense. You're not a Division I program or anything, but I don't know. I love seeing teams play with a chip on their shoulder. BYU comes to mind. We went to that game in the Coliseum. That's where we're sitting there in the stands, and you're going, BYU runs this 3-3-5 defense. Fits their personnel, and now years later, that's what you guys do.
Yeah, that's right. That's kind of the birth of our defense was that Saturday afternoon watching BYU. But yeah, it's awesome. And yeah, San Diego State, they looked really good last night. I don't know if you saw that score, but you like these programs who are kind of, undervalued but play really good football. And that's what I hope we don't lose in college football with this realignment and all that. I like the fact that there's some parity and I like the big boy matchups too, but I don't want it to turn into, 2 giant super conferences with 40 teams or something. I don't think that'd be healthy.
No.
For anybody.
Man, I'm telling you, a Wyoming against San Diego State is a heck of a game. Boise State, these schools have a lot of Southern California kids on them as well.
Yeah, they do a good job of finding guys. And that's what you appreciate them. They're not littered with 5-star, 4-star recruits because they can't get those guys, but they actually got to work to get their guys.
Yeah.
And so they got to go to the small schools. They got to go to the remote schools. They got to find JUCO guys and make their team that way. So you appreciate just the work that went into making that team successful.
Yeah. Oh man, college football. I got to go to work today, but I'll be watching a little bit here and there. Came down this morning, Mark, to set up and get my coffee, and I was like, "Oh wait, college football's on. We got pregame shows. We got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
9:00 kickoff here on the West Coast." I was like, "Woo, we're back, baby!"
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
then NFL, Matt, how the Rams going to do?
Oh man, I'll tell you in about 18 weeks, but I like Stafford being at the helm. I think the defense was there. I hope they don't lose a step, losing their defensive coordinator. They have the two best defensive players in football, I think, in Ramsey and Donald. The division is tough. The NFL is tough.
Yeah.
That's one thing
NFC
about
West.
the NFL that is different than college is there's no off weeks. Every game is best athletes in the world.
Yeah. And it's the margin of victory and defeat is so small. And so it really comes down to a few plays every game.
Yeah.
A few calls by the coaches, a few plays by the players, and that determines the outcome of the game.
Every game is 3 or 4 points. You're like, hey, there's no 40-point blowouts like college sometimes. So,
no.
Mark, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the time with the family. Happy Labor Day to you, man. And hey, go get the Bobcats next week. I called you guys cat hunters last week, taking down Panthers and then the Lions, and then I didn't even realize the Boron was the Bobcats. Another cat. So you were supposed to have 3 cats here to start your season.
Right. Yeah. And I think Bobcats might actually be native to the high desert of Southern California, so it'll be fun.
Mark,
we're looking forward to it. Hey, thanks, Matt. You have a good weekend too.
Hey, you got it, man. Enjoy the football. Let's go and beat Boron. We'll talk to you next week, man. Good luck.
Sounds good. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks again, Mark Carson, for joining us on the Get Home Safe podcast, breaking down the Rio Hondo Prep victory from last Thursday and looking ahead to the upcoming game against Boron. And for fans out there, be sure to send in some questions, some topics that you'd like me to discuss with Mark outside of just the game stuff. Tried to include some of that today. In regards to, what happens kind of before the game, the team meal situation, just keeping the fans informed and included. So if you have some questions for Mark, by all means, send them in. If you see something that stuck out on film or, hey, why do you guys do this or whatever, could be anything. Mark is up for the challenge of getting questions from fans and such. So that's what we want to do here on Mondays. We're going to try to record on Saturday mornings, I think, so that, the episodes can be released Monday and we're not rushing or anything. So that's just give you guys a little insight on what we're planning to do in moving forward. So we'll get Mark a little more fresh off the game, fresh off the victory or God forbid a loss Friday night. We'll have him Saturday morning if he still has a voice. But anyway, thanks again for joining us, guys. Just a few housekeeping items. As always, there's many great ways to follow the Get Home Safe podcast. If you haven't done so already, follow us on social media. Our Facebook and Instagram page is Get Home Safe Podcast, where we post photos of the upcoming guests, typically on Thursdays, as we do have a new guest every Friday for a long form interview or a fun conversation. We also have a Twitter handle that is Get Home Safe Pod, and our email address is gethomesafepodcast@yahoo.com. Our YouTube channel is Get Home Safe Podcast. Give us a like there if you'd like to subscribe, and give us a comment. We've seen a few comments recently that we're responding to. That is great hearing from fans out there. So appreciate all the support everywhere. You can listen to the Get Home Safe podcast, of course, many different places, Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen to us. Feel free to give us a like and rate our podcast accordingly. So everybody have a great weekend. I say that now on Saturday, even though this will be released on Monday. But once again, happy Labor Day to all. Hopefully everyone's barbecuing and not working, just enjoying themselves. So we will be back on Wednesday with Bill Barnes on the weekly Wednesday weigh-in. And on Friday, we will have a long form conversation with a guest that has been recorded, but I'm not going to tell you about who that is just yet. I will wait till later in the week to keep it mysterious. So you'll have to follow us on social media. You see what I did there, guys? It's a work in progress, and I'm always manipulating you guys as best I can. Anyway, any tips for the background to crop the photo, send that to me so I don't look like an idiot with my background here. But anyway, guys, happy Labor Day. And guys, as always, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or rounding third base, get home safe.